Happy Friday, fam, and welcome to a new episode of Thursday Thyroid Talks. It's been a minute since I've recorded a new episode, and I am so happy for this one today. So while I wait for my beautiful guest, Bridget Flynn, to join me, I want to tell you a little story. So last year, I started having a lot of really powerful downloads. I started remote viewing out of nowhere. It was like my spiritual gifts just exploded out of me. And I've been working with Bridget for about a year up until that point on readings, getting readings from her for support on things I was going through. Hi, everyone. And I also knew that other than a psychic medium and doing readings, she was a spiritual coach. So I reached out to her and I was like, Bridget, I don't know what's happening to me. There she is. And I was like, I just really need your help. So still is a very powerful instrument in my life and has been such a fantastic coach and guide to help me just become who you guys see I am right now. And I look forward to working with her further to unfold more of my gifts. So let's bring her on. Hi, Jalen. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. So I just invited her to join. And there she is. There she is. My magical friend, Miss Bridget Flynn, everyone. Round of applause.
I hear.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm sitting in front of my huge window with the sunshine, and it's Friday, and yeah, life's good. So, thank you for being here.
I'm so excited to come on and talk about intuition and organizing and energy cleansing and all the good stuff because I know your crowd is down for this kind of magic.
They are, how scared I was to come out of the spiritual closet last year.
Yeah.
And once thanks to your beautiful guidance and encouragement, and I started offering readings and, doing everything, they have really just embraced this. So they are down, and I'm so, so grateful for that. Okay, so why don't we start with, who are you? Can you tell us all about you? A quick little intro.
Sure. My name is Bridget Flynn. I am a home organizer and an intuitive coach. I use my intuition in my organizing work and also obviously in the intuition coaching side. I do readings. I'm a lifelong intuitive and psychic. And I did a whole bunch of healing work, like learned a bunch of different modalities. Thought I was really going to go down that path of of being a healer and a psychic. And then I decided to change and do home organizing because I needed to, one, I'm really good at it and I love it. There's so much energy in a person's home. And it was a really great way to ground my gifts because I was doing readings, you're doing Reiki and all this kind of healing work and stuff. And it's very it's very etheric. It's all kind of like out there. And so the organizing and the decluttering especially were my way of connecting energy and using intuition and doing all those good things. So but I've continued to do the readings for the last 25 years, to do the intuition coaching for the last 5. And I live in sometimes sunny, always beautiful Connecticut. And I'm just really enjoying life.
Yeah, you are really good. You are so good. I mean, your gifts are phenomenal. I've had a couple readings with my friend. We've come on with her together and just been like, tell us about our past lives together. And she's told us about our friendship and our past lives, like back to the, I don't know, like, what was it, 1600s or something? It was phenomenal.
Like
Yeah,
that.
so we can dig into that side of you, but I also love the home organizing so much because yeah, like you said, there's so much energy in a home,
Yeah.
and it's so true. So let's start with which avenue, because you're so multifaceted.
Yeah.
Do you want to go down first? Do you want to go into the intuition? Do you want to dive into the home organizing or the
Let's talk
second?
about intuition because that's really where your audience is at. They've experienced that with you. So let's talk about the intuition.
Okay, sorry about that. I was trying to turn off my notifications. Okay, so intuition. All right, yeah, let's start there. So, why don't you explain like why and how did you start coaching on intuition?
I like that question a lot because it's very personal. So, um, I started coaching on intuition because I did not believe my own gifts for the longest time. Like, my biggest hurdle was believing that the things that I was experiencing, seeing, hearing, were real. Because like you grow up in a family. My family is very Catholic, and so these things are not, fully accepted. And so I just always had the doubts. Had very hard time accepting that I was receiving information. Had a hard time accepting that it was my intuition or it was my clairvoyance. Um, a lot of times, also, it is hard to verify the information that you're receiving through your intuition or as a psychic, because like past lives, like how am I going to verify that, right? Unless we're going to go back and like do some real digging. So it requires a lot of trust, and and it requires a lot of confidence in yourself, a lot of trust in yourself, and a heck of a lot of practice. So I decided to do the intuition coaching because once I realized that it was real and the information that I was receiving and giving to people was helping them to make decisions, to gain clarity, to transform their lives. I was like, okay, this is real. The things that I'm seeing are real and experiencing are real. So I wanted to help other women who have gifts but doubt their ability, don't know what their gifts are saying to them, don't know how to interpret the information that's coming through. Maybe they're scared of it. Maybe they don't know the depth of their own gifts as well. I want to give them that strong understanding of intuition on the day-to-day level and then introduce them to their gifts and just let things grow naturally. So that's why I do it, to help other people.
And that's a perfect way of saying it because I went through your program after going through your intuition program, and working with you on my gifts. I mean, that's exactly why I messaged you because I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't know what I was experiencing. I didn't know why. I didn't know if I was imagining it. And there was, like you said, just so many doubts around what the heck was happening. And you just so beautifully, with your program and your coaching calls and your modules, you really just helped soothe, number one. You did help validate and soothe me. And then number two, you really helped me get clear on the differences. For me, not everyone has psychic abilities. So, you really did help me get clear on when I was hearing myself and my intuition and understanding what that is and being able to follow it. And then for me, like whether or not I was hearing, speaking with like an angel versus like an ancestor, someone's ancestor.
Yeah.
And so even if someone, doesn't have the psychic and the clairvoyancy, clairaudience and all that, like it is still such a phenomenal program for women to go through because one of the things that I find with my clients is, and one of the things that I found in my own health recovery is we become, especially when we have chronic symptoms, we become very disconnected from our intuition. We don't even know if it's there. And like, if it is, how to listen to it.
Because you're in survival mode. Anytime that you are in survival mode, you're going to feel disconnected from your intuition, because intuition requires centeredness. It requires some space. It requires you to be able to trust. And if you are in some sort of a survival mode, whether it's health or financial, it is going to be harder to hear your intuition. I've had people who are like, well, it seems to pop up here and then it'll go away, and it pop up there and it'll go away, and I can never seem to gain control over it. I can never access it when I want to, which is something I hear a lot. I want to be able to access my intuition on demand. And so one of my first questions usually is, are you in some form of a survival mode? You know, do you lack, and like these questions, they get deep right away, because your intuition is always your deepest connection to yourself. And so when you start to open to your intuition, and you're building a relationship with it. And when you're building a relationship with your intuition, you are really deepening your relationship with yourself. And I just love that. To me, that is so beautiful. Like, to help a person achieve some sort of a sovereignty, a self-sovereignty, where you make your decisions. You are guided. You can receive outside information, and then from that you can distill what is best for you, because your body is telling you one thing, or maybe you're receiving information from your helpers, your guides or angels, whatever you want to listen to. So I want to help people be more self-sovereign and to make incredible changes in their lives just by listening to their intuition. So I think I deviated from the question in answering.
No, you're fine. Like, everything you're saying is so on point. And even Olivia said, so good. This makes so much sense. Yeah, it does, and, reconnecting, everything you said, 100%, like living in chronic fight or flight, survival mode of any kind, even if you don't have severe symptoms, like a lot of people are just living in a chronic fight or flight, like you said, because of finances, a scary situation like a divorce, or, who knows, like getting laid off from work. And it is really hard when we're in that overthinking, because with fight or flight, the way I describe it too, is like we get stuck in the negative what if looping pattern, and you just focus on all the fears. And yeah, it's almost like your body becomes addicted to focusing on all of the fears. So how can you, get out of that and expect to hear your discernment and your intuition? It is very hard. So how could you recommend that someone take a step back from survival mode and try to start to hear, like, basic step of how can someone start to hear their intuition?
Yes. First, I would also like to say that if anybody who's watching has questions about intuition, their intuition, anything like that, anything about psychic gifts, just, pop the question in the comments and we'll be happy to answer them. I love questions. Okay. So your question is, if someone is in a fight or flight mode, how can they just take a step back and listen to their intuition?
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's all, the breath is in the pause, so you need to pause. It's almost like pressing the pause button on everything that's going on, like in your head or in your life, right? And so that kind of makes the space for you to be like, what is right here? Let me feel this in my body, okay? That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to see what your body is telling you. Because we're so conditioned to live like neck up. We forget there's this whole other hot bod below receiving information and giving us information. And that information can come in the form of a gut check. It can come in the form of like a pain in the shoulder or the elbow. It can come in the form of anything, a ringing in the ears. So listen to your body. Your body will tell you. So it's always about, like, take the step back, like you said, Sarah, and then drop into your body. And that can just be as simple as, body, what are you telling me? Like, what do you want to say right now? Some people don't feel safe in their bodies. They just don't feel safe in their bodies. There was a point in my own life where I didn't feel safe in my own body because I didn't trust myself. And so, I mean, my own journey with my intuition, my gifts has been up and down, especially in the early years. And so what I did was I would write options down on a piece of paper, and then I would put it into like a bowl and I would shake it up. And then I would pull that piece of paper and I would read it. And based on my reaction to that, I would make a decision. So, yeah, like it's like when you are in fight or flight, it is very, very hard, like we said, to hear your intuition, to listen, to know if it's your intuition or if it's your fear, right? So, how are you going to know? You need some workarounds. And so those are like two of my very easy, kind of fun workarounds. Drop into your body, write it down on a piece of paper, see how you react to that decision, and then based on that. Another way to act on your intuition, another way to tell when you're in fight or flight is to just go with that instinct, because you will lean one way or the other. We just kind of talk ourselves out of it, or the fear will take over and talk us out of it. So one of the biggest things that I teach my clients is to act on your intuition immediately. Like, you have that thought, go do it. Is your thought like, pick up that umbrella even though it's, sunny and 85 out? Pick up that umbrella, take it with you, because guaranteed it's going to rain, or you might, I don't know, save somebody's life with the umbrella. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But that umbrella is going to be needed that day in some capacity. So when you act on your intuition immediately and then it bears fruit, however it bears fruit, you will trust yourself. You will trust your intuition. It's just like you're just collecting little wins, as we like to say, and it becomes like a game. It becomes kind of magical. It's like, oh, if I just do this, then what will happen? And so you just build that trust and you raise your vibration, and life gets better and better, incrementally and quantumly.
Wow. Okay. So I remember you just gave me a flashback on the end, because she always gave me homework on the end of our coaching calls. And she said, and I remember when you said that to me, you have 5 seconds to act when you hear something. I remember you saying that to me, and I was like, wow, that's a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I started practicing that week for my homework. And I did notice, this is one of the things that I've personally noticed a lot with working with you and trusting my intuition, is the more I heard it, the more I paid attention to it, and I actually recognized I heard it, and then acted on whatever nudge it was giving me. I started to get more, and then I started to get more, and then it just started to become second nature of like, oh, it's like I just knew, oh, that's my intuition. Ooh, maybe a little hunch, a little nudge, I'm gonna follow that, I'm gonna act on it. What was it? And it's been, and it does, it just, like you said, it quantifies, like it there's just a gentle process of like this reconnection that starts to happen, where you, like you said, you start trusting yourself, and you're like, and the one thing that I learned the most is, like, number one, your intuition will never steer you wrong. Number two, it'll never lie to you. Number three, it'll never put you in harm's way, period. It's just there to keep you safe, happy, and healthy and wealthy. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the other way that when you said drop into your body, so a lot of people are like, oh, meditation, and oh, I'm so tired of hearing about meditation, breath work. But that is the fastest way to drop into your bodies. You just sit your ass down, you start taking some deep breaths, and then, like you said, you ask yourself questions, and you talk to it. I started practicing this, and this was a game changer for me. Now I do it all the time. I'm like, Sarah, how are you? I do check-ins. What's up?
I'm tired. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Instead of ignoring, like you said, the pain in my shoulder or whatever, I'm like, I recognize, like, oh, that hurts. What can I do to help you with that?
Yeah. I want to answer this question, and then your follower M.Study says, how do you know if it is intuition or your worst case fear? But before I answer that, I want to make another comment on into like having a relationship with your intuition, because it is those little things, like you said, you sit down, you check in, asking yourself how you're doing. That's what you do with your partner, right? Or with a friend. How you doing, babe? Similarly, if you hear an intuition, but then you ignore it or reject it, in time, your intuition will move further and further, big air quotes around this, because you never lose your connection to your intuition, and I want to stress that so much. Like, you don't, it's always there. It's just about how much crapola is on top of it, how, how much is it buried, what's it buried under, really, um, but you distance yourself the more that you reject your intuition, the more that you show you don't trust it. Just like in any relationship, you can be with your soulmate, and but if you have trust issues, that person will stick around, but you will create distance in your relationship the more that you reject their information, reject their love, reject their affection, reject their advice, like all of it. You will create distance within your relationship with your intuition when you reject it. And not just a one-time thing, but it's like a consistent rejection. So I always like to anthropomorphize intuition, because I just have always found it to be true for myself and for my clients. It's a living, breathing relationship. So really treat it that way, nurture it that way. And if you do nurture that connection, you can also do the same thing with your personal relationships. And you will find yourself more willing to nurture those relationships, to be present and to be less guarded, because again, you're just building trust with yourself. It's all connected. Like there's no disconnect. It all comes around. Okay, so to answer that question, how do I know if it's my intuition or my worst case fear? And the answer is, in the beginning, you don't know. You don't know. There is a way to tell if it's your intuition or your fear, and it is this. Intuition is strictly information. It is just information. And, information we have a reaction to, but information does not carry any emotional weight. So if you receive information, like let's say that you hear something, all right? I want you to check if this is something. Did you hear the information and then have an emotional reaction, or did you hear the information along and have an emotional reaction at the same time, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, little Timmy's gonna be in a car accident today. That's your fear talking, because you receive the information and the emotion at the same time. If you hear the information of little Timmy's going to be in a car accident today, like you have the knowing or you have the vision or something, and then you emotionally react, that is most likely your intuition. So in the beginning, it takes discernment. It's not easy, but it takes discernment. And we can often misinterpret our gut reactions, because that gut reaction can be one of absolute fear. Like your beloved one could be hurt. So information carries the vibration, and you will get it like as a clairvoyant. If you see as a picture in your mind, you're a clairvoyant. If you receive the information like as an all over knowing, it's a or just like in your head, kind of like a knowing, it's a claircognizance. So it's really how you, again, it's that discernment of, is this information and emotion, or is it coming in at the same time? Sometimes I describe it way better.
No,
than
I
other
get
times.
it. I always, whenever I'm getting a download or I'm reacting out of fear, I will have a panic attack with it. Like not like a full on panic attack where I'm dying, but it's like I'll start having the nervousness. I'll feel shaky. I'll actually have the adrenaline spike where I feel like my heart starts beating and I start sweating. And that's when I know my fear. I call her my bitch brain, which I also know is now my scared little girl trying to keep me safe, whatever the case. But I know now that, like, when I have, like you're saying, the actual physical reaction, that is my fear. And so now that I've been able to discern, like, okay, this is my fear taking over, that's when I kick into soothing of like, why is this scary to you? Or it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And instead of going into and like feeding into that reaction, I start mothering it. And that's really, really helped me.
That's beautiful. I love that. Giving it a bit of nurturing. You're not, blossoming a fear. You're just like, hey, what's going on here? That's it. You are creating distance and asking questions. And so when you have that physical reaction, people will think automatically that that's their intuition and, something terrible is going to happen, or conversely, something wonderful is going to happen. Um, but usually it has to do with fear. It's how our brains are wired. So, so if you can create that distance for yourself and give it that motherly love, then, and start to ask the questions, getting to know your intuition is a journey. It's not just like opening a book, memorizing the textbook, taking the test, and then all of a sudden you've got like great intuition. It requires your full participation, and you, just like anything, you will get out of it whatever you put into it. So I strongly encourage everyone here today to just start, at the very least, start listening for it and start acting on it. Give yourself 5 seconds. Act on that intuition with 5 seconds. It's okay to, if your intuition says, call that account and ask for that signature today, right now. You can have 3 seconds of panic, be like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, John. Yeah, I need that signature today. Yeah, if you don't do it now, you're not going to make the deadline, and then you'll be out. So I was like, okay. And you get it. So you just allow yourself those few seconds of freak out or fear or whatever it is, and then commit to the act. And it will feel so good.
It does.
It's like partying with your best friend. It's so good.
It does. And for me, and I don't know if everyone's different, but just for me, one of the things that I've discerned, like going more into like I have the body reaction for fear, when I have my intuition speak to me, I hear, and I don't think it's angels, I don't think it's people. I know it's me, but I hear it. I will have a sentence in my head. I'll have a thought.
Yeah.
And that's when I react on it. I recognize it now that I've practiced it and I've developed it. I recognize it and then I act on it. And so that is the difference for me between intuitive download versus fear download.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear download. Yeah. It's just generated by the ego. One thing I tell my students all the time is to imagine your intuition like an antenna, right? Like coming right from your heart, like up from the top of your head. Because there's information floating around all the time. And information is just energy, right? So, and just like radio waves, the information will hit your antenna, you're vibing at that frequency, and then the information will come down through the antenna, and it will impart that information based on whatever your gifts are. So like for me, I'm highly clairvoyant. Like everything is a movie in my head. But I'm also cognizant. I'll have the knowings. I'll have people's dead relatives visit me. I will see, crazy energy things, and things I also don't want to see, but I do see anyway. So I will, that's how I receive the information. So it'll come down like this. I'll receive the information and I know that it's my clairvoyance. Okay, let's talk some other things because there's a lot that we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about home organizing. I love how you organize homes and like how you feel about energy, how energy of the home affects us.
Okay, so I live and die by the motto. That's a very dramatic statement. I live and die by the motto that there is no disconnect between our inner selves and our personal environments. It is, if you want to know what's going on in someone's head or someone's life, just look at the state of their home. If you have kids, if you have young kids especially, that's where everybody goes to right away. It's like, well, what if you have young kids and, life is a mess? I'm like, yeah, you have young kids and life is a mess, and that is okay. I'm not saying a messy home is not okay. I'm just saying if you don't feel good in your home, in your life, if you're feeling held back, I can take a look at your house and be like, yeah, I see that you're being held back. One of my biggest things is that clutter holds energy. And energy will pile up like in the corners, it'll pile up like under a desk or under a table. It'll pile up in the high up shelves or the bottom cabinets. The area where the house is not used so much, that's where like the dirty energy will pile in. And when you start to declutter, you are moving that energy. And even if you just like take a vacuum or wipe down the wall with a cloth or something, like you are moving energy. So all objects hold energy, and a lot of them can hold like energetic imprints or information, right? So there's the psychic art called psychometry, where you can hold an object and you can read the object, So I've done that before. It's very interesting. Your furniture can hold energy. When I was 15, this is like one of my favorite stories. It was time for me to upgrade from my sister's hand-me-down 1970s white, you know what I'm talking about, that whole bed set, and I got my very own. And I love antiques. So my mom took me to our local consignment store, and I walk in, and I just turn my head to the right, and I see this Art Deco bed set. Big vanity mirror, this warm wood. I fell in love. I was like, that one. We were in the store for less than 3 minutes before the transaction was complete. I was like, I want that one. I took it home, put it in my bedroom, and I just felt kind of itchy, like, and I just kept seeing this, like in my mind's eye, 15 years old, my mind's eye, kept seeing this woman, slim woman with like shoulder length brown hair. And she was just brushing it. She was pulling things out of drawers. She was doing, and I was like, okay, well, this is mine now. It's no longer hers. And so I spent a whole day cleaning that thing. I cleaned it 3 times before I felt like it was mine. My mom would poke her head in and she'd be like, oh, you really love it. I'm like, mm-hmm. I do.
Girl, but not the crazy ghost attached to it.
So she wasn't an attachment. She was an energetic imprint. Because, she had spent so much time at that vanity and, in that bed and everything, that her energy was just imprinted onto it. And she would just, and so like all those actions that she would do around the vanity or on the vanity, I was receiving because I'm clairvoyant and I'm sensitive. So I just picked it up. Anybody else could walk in there and look at that and be like, oh, nice vanity set, and I'm like, yeah, do you not see the lady right there? So it's a energetic, it's a residual. It's just energetic residuals. And that can happen with any sort of furniture, any sort of a home, I'm kind of deviating from home organizing, but this part of energy and spirits and home just fascinates me, and I've done I've done some like home cleansings where like I have to like get rid of, spirits or like, attachments and stuff like that. That's very fascinating. And that's a larger way to say that your objects hold energy. They hold your energy. They can hold the energy of the past, So like, think of a divorce, right? Someone goes through a divorce or a big bad breakup. You've been living together. That you want to get a new bed immediately. Not just because it's like, oh, this was our marital bed, this was shared, I want to get rid of it, but it's also like that bed holds energy. And there is no way on God's good green earth would you want that energy in your life anymore. There are a lot of things. Oh, wait, somebody's saying here, tell people that and say, oh, no, sweetheart, no, you're not crazy. No, there is a community of people who understand this, and embrace your ability to see these things and to know these things and understand these things and stand in that truth. People will still think you're crazy, but there are plenty more people who will very much deeply appreciate this gift that you have. So what was I saying? I forget.
Oh, we're talking about people's energy, especially the past, and getting rid of your bed if you've been divorced.
Yes. So, um, so you will, and like people always want a clean slate, right? So they're usually like, they will automatically, like instinctively do a purge or a decluttering, you know? It's kind of like a reset for themselves, because they're getting rid of all of that old energy. They're like, this is no longer me. All the energy that was in with this stuff, this shirt this is not my style anymore. It doesn't look like me. I don't want this. No, this is not it. So when people are ready for a big change, you can tell that because they'll get their haircut and they'll do a big purging and decluttering, you know? And I love that. Like for me, it's all about transformation, whether it's helping people in their homes or helping people with the uncover their intuition and build a relationship. You know, I'm helping them to transform their lives in some way. And that is to me just the best. And also when it comes to like the decluttering, you know, you are as the organizer, you're always using your intuition. Good organizers will use their intuition because they're holding space. They are able to read their client, and all right, this person needs this, person needs that. We should really go at this kind of a pace because I can see that it is hard for her, no matter what she's saying. It's hard for her to move on. So you just hold the space and you use your intuition. You ask the right questions, and you know, and they help them to release. And that part of transformation is also, I want to say, critical in order for the release to occur.
I actually
Yeah, like
agree. I think it is critical as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have purged my closet so many times in the past 2 years, you know, because I left San Diego, I left my long-term relationship, and I just, all of the clothes, even though they were my clothes that I bought for myself, a lot of my wardrobe was from my ex-boyfriend, like giving me the credit card, being like, go buy clothes, you know? And there was the memory attached to it of, oh, we were at this cool mall in Vegas and da 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 da. And he liked this shirt on me. And there was just so much of the past attached to it that even though I liked them, I could, like, the energy was heavy now that we weren't together. So that happened multiple times where it was almost like, I wanted to still hold on to a piece because it was cute or whatever, but I felt the icky energy to it from the past, you know? And so before I moved into my apartment, it was like I had to go through this whole, I went through another energetic cleanse of like all of my clothes. And this time it wasn't attached to anyone in the past, it was attached to my old version. So I've noticed that too. I'm like, wow, I'm not even that Sarah anymore. I don't want to wear those clothes anymore. So it's interesting, like for me with clothes in particular, like how I have to always have that fresh energy, and you got to get rid of that. I realized, ew, I'm sleeping on my ex-boyfriend's like long sleeve at night still. Like, what is that? You know, like, bye. And so a lot of things like that. But you know, as far as energy, there was one thing also, like with, you know, to go beyond, like just point out something that I had an experience I had a couple weeks ago. Um, when I first moved in here, it was like so stressful. You know, I was trying to buy all the things and get settled and bills and deposits and all these things. And I was just like, you know, kind of freaking out moving in. And the week went by and everything ended on a calm note that weekend. And I was like, okay, we made it. I got you enrolled in school and I did this and I did that. And, but I noticed that there was a vibe of my home that still carried that stress, even though I was feeling better. So I did a full energetic cleanse. I opened all the doors. I opened the blinds. I saged. I put like wind chime frequency music on, and I just washed it. And it felt so good, like clean slate.
Yeah, yeah. And you especially need to do that when you move into a new home. Like anybody who's moving into a new home, I even if it's a brand new build, I highly suggest doing an energetic cleanse, whether it's with salt, it's with you know, with candles, with sage if you have that. Just you have to get that old energy out so that you can bring your energy in. With decluttering, with saging, it's always about moving out the old energy so that new opportunities, fresh energy, fresh. I love that word opportunities, so that fresh opportunities can come into your life. because it's all about going up to the next, just up to the next. What's next on your journey? And that's not for everyone. Some people, like, they very much want to stay where they are. They're happy where they are, blah blah blah. But if you really want to gain clarity, if you really want to move on to the next area of your life, even though you might not know what that is yet, I highly recommend doing like a purge, and go ahead and like purge your whole home. Start with your closet, move on to your jewelry, move on to your kitchen, and just purge all the things that are old, old, old. Go into the basement, go into the attic. I believe that the areas of the home, the rooms of the house, represent certain things, right? So like your attic is like all the secrets that you keep in your head, The basement is like all the secrets that your family keeps. The kitchen is the heart of the home. Your bedroom is that place of connect. It's a connection, right? It's like intimacy and your own personal connection. So like there's all these different areas, and so you when you clean out those areas, I recommend doing the purging and then doing a thorough cleaning. I'm talking like get the baseboards, get that dust, dirt. Hold on to negative energy. And to heavy energy as well. So if you can remove that heavy energy, remove all of that heaviness, then you have the space to receive clarity, And the answers to your questions can start to come in. You're like, oh, that actually wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Oh, I got that answer. Okay, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And then because you listen to your intuition, you act on it right away. Boom, boom, boom. Done,
I just had a vision. So I wasn't meaning to giggle over you. I had a vision when you started saying cleaning. I had a witch pop in my head, and I was like, oh, is that why they have brooms? Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, witch brooms. The whole thing with brooms started because witches would be burned, right? So if witches had to use everyday objects as tools of magic, so that's why they had brooms, And but it also symbolizes that broom symbolizes sweeping out the old energy. You sweep it out the front door. You have to sweep your front door every day. Also, if you want to welcome new energy into your home, clean your front stoop, clean your front door. So like I take like a couple of times a year, I will take vinegar water and I will wipe down the door jambs, the doors, front, sides, backs, the handle, the lock, all of it, and hold that intention of cleaning out the old energy to welcome the new energy in. I'll place selenite on the top of the door jamb just to cleanse and bless whatever energy is coming through, and it works. I did that. When did I do that? In early February, and I got inquiries for 3 big organizing jobs.
Wow.
It works.
Wow.
It does work. You'll have to redo it from time to time to get that like fresh energy in, but it's like that connection between self and home and energy, like it's very holistic. There's no disconnect. And so if you want to affect some change into your life, if you want to gain clarity, if you want to move out old energy, just start working on your home. If you're wanting to not get your intuition, better connect with your intuition, start cleaning your house, start decluttering your home, because that clutter holds energy. One of my favorite stories is when I had a client. We were going through, she loved to hold on to things. It was hard for her to let go. Her job ended up costing her, it was a lot. The investment was really big because it was really hard for her to let go of things. There's this one time we were going through her jewelry, and I held up this necklace, and I did not like the feeling that I got from this necklace. It was a very simple necklace with some like hearts on it. And I was like, what's up with this necklace? And she's like, oh, that's from my ex-boyfriend. It's like, oh, okay. And before I could even get any other words out of my mouth, she says, he used to beat me and rape me. Like,
Oh,
yeah. And I was like, why are you holding on to this?
yeah.
And she said, well, it's a gift and you're not supposed to get rid of gifts. And I was like, no, no. You having this necklace here where you, when you open up your jewelry case and you see it every day, it is reminding you of those beatings and those rapes. Like why would you want to keep that? And she's like, well, he was an asshole, but like you're just not supposed to give away gifts. So I give everyone permission here to give away gifts from people who are toxic in your life, people who are well-meaning but don't really know who you are. Gifts, the act, the act of gift giving is not just in the gift. It's in the gift itself. Hold on, I was playing this right. It's about the love that gift expresses. So if somebody gives you a pen, they're like, I saw this pen and I thought of you, here you go, here's your gift. The gift is not the pen. The gift is their love, is their thought, you know? So that is the case like 80% of the time. Sometimes gifts can be gifts of manipulation, like that necklace was from that boyfriend, And those, you just get out. You throw them in the trash. You say, thank you very much for all the lessons I learned from you. And then you throw it in the trash and it goes away. And then it's like you really scrub that space, of from that gift. But it's a powerful way to show that objects hold energy and that you do not ever have to hold on to a gift because someone gave it to you. You do not have to hold on. You can release. How about that? You can release any gifts that anyone has ever given you if you do not like that person or you do not like that gift. It's okay. It can go. They'll never know.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, Bridget, you are just sharing so much wisdom and knowledge. Thank you so much. This is like amazing. Um, I'm just like recapping in my head of everything you said and like the importance that you're impressing of like actually physically cleaning, like wiping, mopping, vacuuming, and how that is such a powerful energetic cleanse for us, our physical beings, our mental, emotional, spiritual, physical beings. And I never thought about how, like for example, one of the girls that's here right now, she's trying to get into a new school. She's one of my clients. And I was thinking of her when you said that, of how she cleaned her house and just usher in this new life that she's trying to call in, and how I could see how powerful that would be, especially if you're decluttering and you're physically cleaning with those intentions of I'm gonna, step into this new life and these new educations or these new jobs, these new opportunities, new relationships, new version of me.
Yeah. The magic is in the intent. That's the intention that you hold. And then you bring it into this world, onto this plane through your actions. So if your client's intention is to get into the best school for her right now, then she holds that intention of clearing away anything that is blocking her, in the house and in herself when she cleans. Just clearing the blockages to that next path in life. So, yeah, it is. Magic is in the intent, and then it's the action of cleaning that brings it into this world, or clears the path for that energy to come. And I will say that when you set up systems of organization in your home, you're setting up room for energy to flow into your home, to flow down certain avenues, not just increasing your productivity and efficiency,
Money.
it goes beyond. It goes beyond that. You're setting an intention within your home by setting up these organizing systems. I am more productive. I am more efficient. When you bring, let's say like Sarah, you really wanted to like bump up the jam on your coaching, so you would set up all of your coaching supplies, your client files, pen and paper, your ring light, whatever it is that represents to you, and the tools that you use in your coaching business. Then you would have those. They would be clean. They would be easy, any place easy to access. The drawer would be clean. Like, you are showing respect for your stuff, And by doing so, you're showing respect for your business and thus respect for yourself. You're calling in all of that energy. You're just aligning it all with the energy of respect, trust, and confidence. So.
Damn, you just gave me full body chills. Doing.
Doing, yeah.
Yes, will be doing. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love the way you said that. That I'm, yeah, absolutely honoring and respecting them. And yes, wow. Organizing is not my forte. I'm a very spontaneous. You know me really well, and I'm just so spontaneous. So organizing for me is difficult. So organizing with that intention would bring a different level to it. So I love that. Thank you. All
You're
right,
welcome.
so let's switch gears because this topic, this last one that you know of, it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. And I know that, witnesses two times three, when things start coming up in our life, we're meant to be talking about it. And so the fact that I'm having multiple readings, and I think actually Dawn told me about a reading that you did on one of our other friends where she had to do a full vaginal cleanse too of her past lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about this.
Okay. So our everything is energy, and our bodies especially hold energy. Our bodies will hold unprocessed emotions, traumas, and everything. Our bodies also hold the energy of past lovers. So anyone that you've ever had fun with in the sack or in the back of the car seat or behind the club, in the alley, wherever you've had fun with that person, you are holding their energy in your body. For women, it is specifically in the vagina. Okay. And so I am a huge believer in energetic hygiene, like cleaning your home, washing your hair, taking showers. You need to do the same thing energetically to your body. You need to energetically cleanse. It's energetic hygiene. So I remember feeling this way, like after having some hookups with some guys, with some interactions. Sometimes I felt really great. Other times I didn't feel so good. And it wasn't that like I was lacking respect for myself. It was like just something about the energy of it was off. I didn't feel so good. I have like 10% of my battery left, by the way, on my phone.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, but I think we'll be okay. So you want to cleanse that energy because it stays within you and it impacts you. Energy influences things. As we've been talking about this entire time, energy influences. So I strongly recommend you take control by directing energy, clearing energy and directing energy. And when you do that with your, with your sexual health, is to cleanse the vagina. And I like Sarah, you had mentioned yoni steams, right? So for me, I've done it energetically. I've seen it in women where it is like a plug of just like goop and crap. And I can see it like impacting other areas of their life psychically, like seeing it impacting other areas of their lives. It's not to say that all lovers are have bad energy or anything like that. It's just that there's this energy that's impacting. You want to get it out. So I automatically recommend doing a meditation, and it is very simple, but it's very powerful. And step by step, here it is. You close your eyes, you get into whatever meditative position you want to be in. And I want you to see the energy, a ball of energy in your heart, just a small ball, like a little bit bigger than a golf ball, maybe a racquetball. And it's white and it's glowing and it's vibrant and it's alive. It's energy. And you know that this energy comes from the divine. It comes from source. It comes from God. It is that flame of God within you that everybody has. And So then you let it go down through your, like, let it follow your spine or the line of the chakras, and you let it rest in your vaginal canal. You can start right at the uterus, let it fill in the energy there. You move it down to the cervix, and you move it down into the vaginal canal, and just let it like sit there and let it work its magic. You know, you're just a witness. You're not making anything happen. No Shanti chants or anything. You are just a witness to this energy and this cleansing. And then you might see things or you might experience things start to happen, but just allow that energy to cleanse. And the feeling is, it's phenomenal. You know, it's also part of, like, whenever you do an energetic cleanse, in a way you're reclaiming your energy, you're cleaning out your boundaries, and you are reclaiming your boundaries. So that is how I would recommend cleaning the vagina after having sex. And I would do it honestly with like anybody, even like your significant other, you know. And this is not just, you know, heterosexual couples. It's also, you know, homosexuals, anybody, transgender, whatever it is, you know, we all have sex organs and they all need to be cleaned. So that's really it. Did you have questions about it?
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted is your battery okay? No, I'm all paranoid.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pick. Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. 9 minutes.
I wanted to just share with you some of the energetic cleanse messages that I've been getting from my clients. I was working yesterday and I took a break to go get some lunch, and I was in the kitchen really fast, and I heard that I was prompted that I needed to give my assistant a message. I didn't know why. They just said, we have a message for her. So I had her call me, and a lot came through, but there was a particular vaginal cleanse step by step that came through for her. And it's interesting. I just, you know, like I said, I'm just sharing this with you to like share it. I was told yesterday that she needed to take a feather, and she needed to sit like with her legs open and like actually take this feather and like start moving the energy with the feather like out of her vagina. And then I was told that as she's using the feather, like to blow like too.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she did that a couple of times, that she needed to command 7 times that her ex-boyfriend's energy be removed from her vagina as she was using the feather. Like, I command you out of my vagina. I can say his name, right? And then, I don't know, I've been getting, so that was just one example. I had another one where I was told, my client was told she needed to physically like pretend like she's grabbing like the actual energy and throwing it. Oh, that came through yesterday. That's the second time that's come through, where it's like you're pulling it out and throwing it away, you know? Have you ever experienced anything like that on your, you know, readings?
Yes, not specifically for like sexual cleanses, but just like what you're doing is removing energy. And it's when you bring in those physical movements and like a feather, I think that's quite shamanic, you know, and that goes, you know, throughout all of those cultures. And it is powerful because you are an active participant in removing that energy. So it's, you know, whether it's a representation or you actually are able to grab the energy and remove it, you know. But yes, it is a wonderful way to release. There is no one way to do that, you know. It's what is instinctual, what comes natural. Respond to that. If you are, you know, if you're just sitting there on the sofa and you just, you know, get this download or have this urge to do something like that, you know, it comes in whatever way. Maybe it's like you ring a bell, you know, in front of your vagina or at your root canal or in your, you know, your sacrum, like, and just ring a bell and to say 3 times, I command you energy to leave, whatever it is, like whatever comes to you, do it in that moment, because it's very specific to you. It is your energy, which is unique, that has mixed with his energy or her energy, which is unique, and they combine to create something. And it's like it's going to be like a bespoke healing protocol, shall we? It's not a protocol, wrong word, but I think you get like a bespoke healing meditation or action, and just go with it. Again, building that trust with your intuition. You just go with it. You just answer. You respond. You act. That's, keep going. So anytime that you're getting those things, Sarah, if it comes through like as a download, it's go ahead, give it to the person, go ahead and do it. There's no harm in it. You're not doing any harm to yourself. The one that I gave is universal. It's like, it's just go ahead and do that cleansing. But if there's someone that you've had a strong sexual relationship with for a long time, if it's been, kind of toxic, especially, then doing something stronger like a shamanic thing that you recommended to your clients and to your assistant would be perfect.
Yeah. I love the white light that you brought up. I just did that. I did that. Speaking of intuition, on my sunny days when it's not snowing or pouring right now, I go out and I ground. I have to literally physically lay on the ground and be with the sun. Otherwise, like I feel empty. And yesterday, when I was sitting on the ground, I just that cleanse you taught me of the light, like you just said, the white light inside. It was like my soul just made me do it. Like I shot it down into the earth. I had the earth cleanse it up. I brought it back up into my body. I had it go all over my body, cleanse anyone and everyone's energy out of me, so I could ground and stabilize back into myself and be in my personal alignment without other people's energy interrupting that. And so I love that. And then the one that you taught me, similarly, of dropping the light, the divine light into my spine and just letting it go all over and cleanse my spine and cleanse the energy in my spine. Like, I love all these. They're all effective. They all work. So I guess what I'm just trying to say is, like, anytime using that white light, like the meditation you said, it works. And yeah, it's effective and it's a great cleanse. So not that I was, saying don't do that. I loved it. I was just sharing with some other things that had come through for me.
Yeah, well, those things that you shared were very specific to your clients. And, we all have our own personal relationship as well to that white light, that divine, right? That divine energy. So, so go ahead and do with it whatever the urge is. Follow the urge, follow the instinct. It's there for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So wrapping it up before her phone dies. And wow, an hour has already passed. Like, I miss talking to you. I love this. Thank you so much.
For days.
Yeah. So, okay. Quick little announcement. Anyone that works with me one-on-one in my just normal long-term coaching programs, they also get 2 sessions with Bridget. It's a beautiful little collaboration we have agreed on and are offering to my clients. But if you guys, and I'll let you take over, obviously you can book readings with her, you can do her program, you can work with her directly. As you can see, she's a phenomenal woman. She's changed my life like dramatically for the good. So why don't you let everyone know about your intuition program and anything else that you want to share?
Yes. Okay. So the intuition program that you went through, Sarah, is called Anxious to Intuitive, and it's all about getting you in touch with your own intuition, learning to trust it, giving you the foundations of creating a solid and beautiful relationship with your intuition, learning about how it speaks to you, learning about how to listen to it, how to act on it, how to trust it, and just feeling comfortable and letting your gifts soar. So everybody who goes through the program has, something similar to what Sarah has experienced, but in their own unique way. It's about trust. Self-trust. So that program is 3 months long, and it's one-on-one coaching with me. And if you want to do that, then please, you can just send me a message on Instagram. and we can talk. I also have a course coming up, one that combines clutter and intuition. I love it so much. I'm starting to prep for it. It's called Clutter Magic: Disappear Your Clutter and Reignite Your Intuition in 30 days. And it's like all about decluttering and then reigniting that intuition, activating it again. And that's going to be a month-long small group coaching program if you're interested in that. Again, send me a DM. We're on Instagram. It's a lot easier to just do the DM. My website is bridgetflynn.com, BridgetFlynn. You can always contact me there. And readings, same. Contact me if you want a reading. Just let me know, and I will be happy to oblige.
Yes. You guys contact her, join all the things, do all the things. You will love it. You'll love it. My friend, one of my best friends last night, she said to me, I think I need to book a reading with Bridget. And I was like, it's like a staple in my life of the people that are like close to me. We're like, we need some time with Bridget.
Oh,
So I love it.
thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Thank you, sweetheart. And everybody who's watching, please follow me on Instagram because I will be talking a lot more about the connection between clutter and intuition, and about intuition, about clutter, about energy, and the things that we've talked about here today. So you'll see a lot more of that. And I'm just really excited to be moving into that journey of my life right now with my career and my ability to help others.
That's awesome. I for sure will pay attention and follow all that, and I can't wait to learn more about that because I don't really, I feel like such a newbie when it comes to home and clutter and energy and all those things. So I look forward to understanding that deeper. So thank you, fabulous, lovely Bridget.
Oh,
Thank you so
thank
much for being
you.
here. Thank you everyone for being here, for participating, for commenting, and I hope you guys seriously go follow her. And yeah, maybe we'll do a part 2 soon and we'll talk just more on your program and things that you're the intuitive, the organizing, I'm sorry, everything you just said. So
There's so much. There's so much to talk about.
all
Thank
right,
you, Sarah, for
guys,
having me.
we'll have a fabulous day. I'll talk to you soon. You're welcome.
Thanks. Thanks, Natasha. Bye, everybody.
Bye.